I got just one question. Where's the hockey? Hey guys, welcome back to Film Feature 43. Today we're talking about the 9th episode of Mighty Ducks Game Changers. So let's get into the breakdown. We start with Evan firing Alex.
You're fired.
So Gordon's back as head coach. Evan then asks Sofi out on a date to the social party that they're having at the hotel and gets turned down because Sofi and Maya and Lauren want to have this girl night. So they get to the hotel and Maya immediately abandons them for 8th grade love. Then we get our mandatory B plot with Alex staying back, and she overhears her boss having marital issues, so they end up getting drunk and having fun and sleeping, having like a slumber party over at the office.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So in true sitcom fashion, we get an accidental ask out from Evan to MJ, who's the podcast girl, and Sofi sees that, so she asks out a guy from the Mighty Ducks, and it's just a big miscommunication, like watching The Boy Meets World or Saved by the Bell, all these sitcoms that pull the same trope before. So they all end up at the dance together, and they're watching each other, trying to make each other jealous. Coach T has a heart-to-heart with Gordon, where Gordon admits to why he doesn't coach college anymore. The NCAA won't allow him to. And I've written down in my notes, I was like, Coach T is definitely going to use this to get Gordon to not be able to coach the Ducks. I feel like since Coach T would know the history of the Ducks, knows that Gordon has a knack for pulling ragtag kids together to be the best they can be and have beaten better teams like the Icelandic team from Mighty Ducks 2, or they won the division championship in Mighty Ducks 1. Gordon has a knack for pulling kids who never played hockey before and making them better and win games that they shouldn't be able to win. So Coach T's afraid of that. They're the only team that he's really afraid of. And so I have written down that he's going to use that against Gordon. I didn't know if it was going to be this episode or the next one. Spoiler alert, it ends up being this episode. Evan and Sofi have a blow up in the photo booth, and Nick gets the girl, ends up with MJ, but we don't see them together for the rest of the episode. They're supposedly a couple now. Surprise, surprise, Coach T uses the backstory that Gordon told him in his moment of vulnerability to get him in trouble with the NCAA. So Bombay rushes over in her boss's, soon-to-be ex's Porsche. They're both probably hungover from a night of party, and they rush over, and Alex loopholes the pants off of the officials of the NCAA, saying that Gordon should be allowed to coach because there's never any scouts who came and looked at the Don't Bothers because they weren't very good. They really suck. Meaning that they're not a college prospective team, and Gordon's allowed to coach again. But he's not going to coach. He's going to be the assistant coach because Alex is back to coach. So I don't know why they just didn't have Alex take over being coach, but to me, I feel like that means there's something coming where Gordon is going to have to step into that role. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then at the end, we see Alex and Sofi together again. They're friends. They're more than friends. They like each other. They like each other. Who knows where we'll end up. They'll probably end up together, knowing it being Disney and a Disney-like sitcom. That'll probably happen at the end. Next week is game day. We finally get some hockey, although Sofi hurts herself, so probably not going to be in the championship game against the Ducks. Maybe she'll show up like Adam Banks with his wrist. She'll show up for the final game and actually be able to play. That's what's coming down the pike. I think this is the last episode, if I'm correct. I think we're doing 10 for this season, so look forward to next week of the last episode. I hope we get kind of less sitcom, more hockey, but we'll see next Friday. So that's the episode. As far as my review goes, as you could probably tell throughout my breakdown, I'm not a big fan of the sitcom-like tropes. I understand it's a TV show pretty much made for kids. I know a lot of adults that watch it. Not saying that it is strictly for kids, but it's on Disney Plus. It's kind of geared towards that way. The humor, talking about TikTok and Snapchat and stuff, is geared that way. So I understand that, and I take that into consideration. And I also take into consideration where they're trying to fill out a 10-episode spot, so you have to put some of that sitcom filler in. It seems like this show, aside from the movies, is really focusing on the characters more so than the hockey like the movies did. And that's where the nostalgia beats come in. I mean, I think I read somewhere that the episode with the original Mighty Ducks was the highest watched episode, and there's a reason for that. The adults that are watching this are watching it for that nostalgic factor. And I think the reason why a lot of older people who watch the show are kind of panning different episodes is because they're focused more on things that younger kids now are dealing with. It's not pulling on that nostalgia for the reason why older people are watching this show, that they remember the older movies. I'd like to see more Gordon Bombay. We kind of got a few tidbits here and there this episode, not a whole lot of Gordon. We're going to get Coach Mom back, so I think there might even be less of Gordon in the next episode. I hope that he works his way into the finale in a big way. One question I still have is, why are the Czech kids here? They haven't said a line in the 5-6 episodes they've been in. I haven't seen them play hockey at all. They haven't had a storyline. So I'm expecting them to have some kind of moment in the finale, hopefully. If not, I don't know if they're just seat fillers. I don't know why they'd be there. But right now, that's my biggest question, which seems kind of odd that would be your biggest question in a show with 10 episodes. But why did they bring these kids onto the show if they're not going to give them anything to do? As far as the final episode goes, I am excited to see it. I kind of hope they put more hockey in. I've said this in numerous videos talking about the game changers, where my favorite episodes are the ones where they actually show the hockey. They show the Gordon tricks that we've seen in other movies and kind of pull that stuff in. I like that. I do like the ragtag aspect of it, but now it doesn't seem like they're ragtag anymore. They seem to be doing pretty good. Goop is stopping goals. They're being able to skate and actually handle the puck now. So we're kind of at that point where it's time to show us what the episodes have been building to of the season. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.